Hello, Aquarius Rising. This is Mandy Ray of Ecstatic Astrology here for your November and October forecast 2023. We're going to take a little bit of a look back to the solar eclipse on the 14th and then move forward. Let's go ahead and dig in. Okay, so what we've got here is October up, and we can show you that the solar eclipse was in Libra on October 14th. Libra for you is your ninth house of belief, truth, philosophy, higher education, travel, learning. And so it's a south node solar eclipse. You're separating from that. So maybe you're separating from a philosophy or something you've believed to always be true. But you have to keep in mind that Venus ruled this, okay? And Venus is in Virgo. Venus is in your eighth house of empowerment, shared resources, sexuality, and contracts. So both of these themes can kind of run together when you're talking about leaving something behind. You know, maybe you've changed a philosophy and therefore the contracts you have are no longer going to work out for you. Or maybe these contracts are going against your philosophy and you've got to get rid of it. There's something there that needs to change. This could be heavily focused on relationships with the eighth house involvement, just so you know. But definitely it has to do with your own empowerment and your own beliefs and what you have to separate from in order to honor that, okay? Next, let's go on and skip on ahead to where we are, which is today, October 27th, and tomorrow, October 28th, the lunar eclipse in Taurus. Now, this is going to be more of the fundamental parts of who you are. Scorpio, where Mars, Mercury, and the Sun are, is your 10th house of career, okay? It's bringing lots of focus to that area. Mars brings action, intensity. Mercury is thought. And it's opposite Jupiter today, which is in your fourth house of home and family. So these two themes become extra, extra. And I think philosophy in both is going to come up, especially considering Venus is in Virgo in your eighth house of shared resources. Okay. So you had the solar eclipse in your ninth house. The North Node in Aries is in your third house of communication, learning, opening your mind. But Venus, which rules Taurus, is in your eighth house of empowerment, shared resources, sexuality, and contracts. So while you have this lunar eclipse, which is actually in your fourth house of emotional security, home, and family, you're also looking into investments, contracts that you have, and how you can maybe either fix those to expand your home. This looks to me like you may be moving, honestly, I don't know, or upgrading your home in some way, taking out a loan in order to do so, selling your house. That could all be the case. But right now, the focus is home. That's the focus. Even though career and public image and authority may be pulling on you, there is this sense that home and family are really taking a big chunk of the theme of right now for you. And then how you can invest and also boundaries come into play with Venus in your eighth house ruling that. Now, on the 30th and 31st, Venus trines Uranus. Okay. Uranus is in your fourth house of home and family. Uranus is change. Sometimes it's upheaval. Venus is in your eighth house of empowerment, shared resources, sexuality, and contracts. So there could be a good change coming in here with regards to financial topics, eighth house, other people's money, contracts that you sign, and fourth house, emotional security, integrity, home, and family. Eighth house is also inheritance. There could be something out of the blue that comes in that changes this fourth house, home, and family area, and eighth house, investments, shared resources, contracts, empowerment area. And it's good. If you want to make a change, this is the time to do it. All right, now let's look into November. Oh, come on, mouse. Boop, there we go. All right, so we're looking at November 1st here with the sun opposite Jupiter. I do that every time and I don't mean to. Okay. The sun opposite Jupiter. Jupiter's in your fourth house of home, family, emotional security, and the sun is in your 10th house of career. It's just carrying on that focus on home and family and versus career. And this, people are really extra with the sun opposite Jupiter. The sun is the powerhouse. It's the solar system energy center, right? People are the most themselves when you're talking about the sun. opposite to Jupiter, which expands everything. Jupiter's like, yeah, and also what about your home and family? So it's career and home and family, and they're both expanding each other. Okay. So there could be extra spicy stuff going on around this time. Very big themes in both of these areas. The third, Venus opposes Neptune. Venus in your eighth house, Neptune in your second house of money. And Saturn's going direct in your second house of money on the 4th. Okay, we're looking at November 3rd and 4th. So this is a financial weekend for you. Venus is perhaps, do you need a business partner? Do you need to redo a contract? Neptune's like, I don't know. Do we have the money for it? Neptune clouds things. Okay. But Saturn direct may help you a little bit and get you a plan together for how to get that financial area more set up. Saturn's going to be in your second house of finances for the next 2 years at least. Okay. The other thing going on at the same time is Mercury opposite Uranus again, 10th house, 4th house. Mercury's in your 10th house of career. Something's changing in your 4th house of home, making you think of career. How do I balance the two out? It could be an unexpected event, just so you know. So this weekend's a little shaky on the 3rd and 4th. Okay. The 6th, Venus in your 8th house trines Pluto. Okay, Pluto is in Capricorn, and Pluto is in your 12th house of spirituality, retreat, and reflection. This is very spiritual, empowering time for you, okay? And I do think it involves a certain level of trust. The other thing is Mercury, which is in your 10th house of career in Scorpio, trines Neptune, which is in your second house of money. Okay. A trine is supportive. So something could come in here also and just give you something out of the blue. That's what I hope for. This looks like a giant opportunity. That's why I have the Rubik's Cube clicking into place, because puzzle pieces fit together. This is a very supportive Monday for all of these areas: your money and how you share your money, your career, and your spirituality. Venus moves into Libra, though, on November 8th. And Libra is, what did I say? Your 9th house. That's right. Higher learning, beliefs, new horizons, travel, truth. Venus brings some beauty here, some balance, okay, some gifts. Just keep in mind that there is a philosophy change coming, because Venus will hit the eclipse point, the south node, on the 29th, and you may have to compost something. Maybe you plan to travel to Israel and you can't, I mean, like, that's kind of the situation with Venus hitting the south node. And we all know what's going on in the world at large, right? So Venus hitting the south node is the thing to think about. What are we composting? And what are we getting rid of? And for you, it's 9th house, philosophy, travel, truth, belief. Okay. And yeah, so it's like I can't travel to Israel. That's no longer on the table, right? Venus hitting the south node, can't do that anymore. How about philosophy? I used to believe that it was wrong to use plastic, and now I'm seeing that there's different ways of plastic being made. I know that sounds crazy. I'm trying to give examples. It's like, what can I compost? What can I get rid of that I've believed in the past, or that, adventures that I've wanted in the past that are now going away? And I would pay attention the whole time Venus is in Libra from November 8th forward as it approaches the south node. On November 10th, Mercury is in Sagittarius, square Saturn. Saturn is in your second house of money. Mercury is moving into Sagittarius, which is your 11th house of networking and goals. Okay. So something about that is not jiving. Mercury wants to reach out, have all these goals. Saturn's like, yeah, you need to work on your money and your assets and your self-sufficiency first. It's going to take a minute before you can do that. That's kind of how that fits together. So, and the other thing is, you may be developing your goals around the need for firmer foundations in your assets category. Mars opposes Uranus. This is more career and home stuff on the 11th. Again, this is explosive. That's why I have a caution sign up on the calendar. Mars is, it can be anger, it can be frustration. That's in your 10th house of career. Uranus, which is change, is in your 4th house of family and home. So this could be an unexpected event. It's a little wobbly around there. I lay low during Mars oppositions to Uranus, or squares to Uranus, or conjunctions to Uranus. Mars and Uranus to me are not exactly a time to try anything crazy. So be aware there may be, words exchanged or angers that flare around that time, or something that happens in the world at large. And then November 13th is the new moon in Scorpio, which is your 10th house of career. And you're starting a new phase here. So not only is it a new moon in your 10th house, it's opposite Uranus, change in your 4th house of home and family. So for instance, if you work out of your home, you bought a new home, change, home and family, new moon in Scorpio. Okay, now I can work this way out of my new home. Those are some of the ways that can come out. So it's the old way versus the new way. New moon in Scorpio in your 10th house of career. And then there's Mercury sextile Venus. This is a really good transit. It's opportunity. Mercury, our minds, communication, in an opportunistic sextile with Venus, love and money and values and relationship. Okay. Venus is in Libra in your 9th house of belief and truth. Mercury's in Sagittarius, which is your 11th house of friends, networking, and goals. So there is a sense that you can expand your horizons around this time, expand your networks. This is a good time to be teaching, to tell people about what you think, what you feel, your goals, to network, all of that working really well together. Mars Cazimi in your 10th house of career is really empowering, and that's the 17th. I have a wizard there. That's because Mars and the sun come together, and there is this expansion of Mars action and passion and motivation in this area of career, and it's very powerful. Oh, so I'd definitely pay attention to that day when it comes to career and public reputation for me. Now, the sun in Sagittarius, Mars in Sagittarius, 11th house of friends, networking, long-term aspirations, and goals. That's great, but it's square to Saturn in your 2nd house of money, values, and self-sufficiency. So it's more like, yes, I may be networking, but I also have to tell them I'm raising my prices at the same time. It just feels like an obstacle. It feels like responsibility. It feels like work. The work's in your 2nd house of money. The your mind and your heart are on your 11th house of friends and goals and networking. They're in tension, though, in some way. And then the 27th, that also is the same way. It's the full moon in Gemini, which is your 5th house of creativity, joy, children, purpose. And that's like, oh, let's have fun. We've been networking. We want to hang out. We want to be creative. We want to be in our joy. But Saturn's square to it in the 2nd house of money. So it could feel like an obstacle. I would say, either way, it's going to be important for you to think about your assets and your money around this time, and to adjust what you do and adjust your goals to benefit that area. All right. So only the last thing, and I spent some time on this already, is Venus hitting the South Node on the 29th. And that is in your 9th house of belief, truth, travel, higher education. You may be leaving behind a philosophy or maybe a relationship because of a change in philosophy. I would refer back to the solar eclipse on October 14th for more info about what theme that could be. All right, you guys, thank you so much for your patience. I will catch you on the flip side in December, and we're going to go over December and January. I think that's how I'm going to do it. ecstaticastrology.com to book a session, and I will catch you on the flip side.